Welcome back to Bishop's Breakdown, episode 19. This week is all about WWE. We got Raw, SmackDown, Elimination Chamber, the last PLE before Mania. So we're going to dig deep on those shows and tell you what I think is going to happen at Mania. And then we're also going to preview the Michigan Wolverines Big Ten tournament, which starts pretty dang soon. And no NBA this week, but we'll be back next week. So let's break it down. This episode is brought to you by W Energy, the clean energy drink mix built for gamers, creators, and grinders like us. No jitters, no crash, no artificial dyes, just smooth, long-lasting focus whenever I'm breaking down WWE storylines, debating NBA, or just recording late at night. It's zero sugars, packed with vitamins and nutrients, and it actually keeps you locked in without the shaky feeling. Head to w.gg and use code Bishop's Breakdown at checkout and save 10%. So level up your energy and let's get back to the breakdown. And thanks for supporting the show. Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso qualified for the Chamber, but Bronson Reed got hurt during the match, so I'm thinking they pulled the shenanigans and was like, Bronson looked like he was going to win. And then we're going to have El Grande win, so Jay won by default. I hope Bronson Reed comes back, but it looks like it's a long-term type of injury, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. The vision seems to be bad news bears. You got Braun Breaker hurt. You got Bronson Reed hurt. Seth Rollins hurt. So basically all you got left is Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Dead group. So I don't know. I guess by default, Logan Paul's going to probably get the rub. But we'll get to that later. And then Liv Morgan comes out, and guess what? She chooses Stephanie. Shocker. I seen that coming from, I don't know, when she won the Royal Rumble. There's no way she was picking Jade. Like, the interaction between Stephanie and Liv, she has some stupid interactions with Jade Cargill, but that was a red herring, that was BS. That was just something they were trying to do to make it look like she was really making a decision, but it was already set from like January. So get out of here with that. And then Dupree and Natty had another match. I don't know, is that the fifth match they've had that hasn't been a match? So what are they doing? They're making Natty look so scary or whatever, and are they going to waste a Mania match for that? I sure hope not. I hope they get this out of their systems way before Mania, because please don't waste a slot on Mania with this match. And then Brock Lesnar comes out. I'm thinking he's going to, find his way into the Elimination Chamber or something crazy like that, but an open challenge, that could be interesting. But my two picks of who could answer that challenge, or who hope to answer that challenge, is Gunther or Obafemi, the ruler. Because who else? Who else is going to step up and give, Brock Lesnar a match that's worthy of WrestleMania? Those are the two guys. But I think Gunther might be, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing him and Dragon Lee. Are they going to have a match at Mania, Gunther versus Dragon Lee, so he can put his little butt to sleep, which would be a waste. I'd rather see Gunther versus Brock if they're going to do that, or Oba, because unless they're going to do a Rusev thing, but Oba, Gunther is my picks. And then Javon Evans facing an older Javon Evans and Kofi Kingston. Nice showcase for Evans, though. Like that guy, whatever he says, he is bouncy. And, whatever he does with all that, the 6'7s, and I mean, that boy is nice. I don't care what Kevin Nash said, because that boy is nice. That boy is bouncy. And he is just so young. Like, he's only going to get better. And look how good he is already. Like, when he's in his quote-unquote prime, he's going to be off the charts. and hope WWE doesn't flub the bed like they do every other African American talent that has come from NXT and just kind of, you know, put a rocket on them. And then all of a sudden it was like, you know what? Cancel that. And then you had him hanging out with Offset the other members of New Day to keep them from interfering in one-on-one match. And Javon Evans was OG Cutter, you know? And then Raquel Rodriguez qualifies because, why not? I mean, she ain't gonna win, so whatever. Raquel, go in there, be all big and broody and deal with Rhea and get beat up by Rhea, smacked in the face or something. I don't know. She's just there. And then the tribute for AJ Styles. Great moment for him. Which his past opponents, partners, friends weren't just up in the ramp, but could come to the ring and embrace him. Like Abyss. Like the Good Brothers. Like Kazarian. Like, I just wish there was no beef between AEW and WWE, and then Samoa Joe could have been there. Like that would have been, it's not about who's better, what company is better. AJ Styles deserves all his past opponents, his friends, to be there to share that moment for his final moment. Like, he has put in the work and the time to be able to do that. But I guess I'm just nitpicking. But for me, I think that AJ Styles deserved it. But Deadman came out. But did Deadman go from The Undertaker to the host of WWE Hall of Fame? Because that's what he seems to be doing. He'll come out and be like, you're in the Hall of Fame. You're in the Hall of Fame. No, but you are too. Like, is that his job now? Which is crazy to think. The guy that used to roll his eyes in the back of the head saying, rest in peace, is telling you are a Hall of Famer. First Stephanie, now AJ Styles. Earlier today, he did Demolition. Like, but it's cool though. AJ Styles deserves that Hall of Fame. And I'm just saying, I wish the AEW, WWE thing was just like, come on, it's wrestling. AJ Styles spent all his life giving his body, his soul, his mind to us. And the least y'all could do is let Samoa Joe come in and embrace him and be on the show to say thank you, AJ Styles. Like most wrestling fans will say, you deserve it. And he does. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one indeed. So let's move on to SmackDown. And show started. Jade Uso got jumped by somebody. Randy Orton, maybe? But whatever it is, I figured something like this was going to happen because they didn't plan for him to win the chamber match on Monday. So they had to figure a way to get him out without actually have him in the match. And I'm assuming, like I said earlier, Bronson Reed's supposed to win it, but he got hurt, so they pivoted. And then they pivoted again. So then they made a match. Logan Paul versus Jacob Fatu for that spot, J spot in the Elimination Chamber. More on that later. Then MFTs versus the Wyatt Six is ridiculous. Like, it needs to end. Like, it's just been going on and on. One day they got the lantern, and I get the lantern means, stuff with Bray Wyatt and, his brother and all this, I understand, but it's just getting whatever, like what does the MFTs need the lantern for? Just to be bullies? Just, I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just dragging on way too long, and hopefully they'll end it soon. Maybe, they had the match Solo versus Uncle Howdy, and that don't seem like it's the end of it. So maybe they're gonna have another MFT versus, the Wyatt Six at Mania for all the marbles, the tag team titles, the lantern, and sure, I don't want it on my WrestleMania. Put it on SmackDown, the Friday before WrestleMania. Sure, that would be fine for me. But my head might explode actually if they do put it on the main card, and I'll just be like, why waste everyone's time? Because no one cares. That Wyatt Six, I remember they came in like murderers. Like, they didn't even know. You went to the back of the Raw. Monday Night Raw, and you see all these people like dead. Chad Gable dead. Just all these backstage people just laying there all like comatose, and like they murdered like 40 people. And look at what they're doing now, chasing after a lantern from Solo and the gang. Sounds like a Saturday night or Saturday morning cartoon. And I ain't for it. I ain't for it at all. And then you got Oba Femi squash matches are fun to watch. But, we need something more. I mean, he squashed Miz, shocker. I mean, he needs his real test, and I think that real test will be Brock Lesnar. But it looks like it might be Rusev. And I'm okay with that too, because I like me some Rusev. Rusev Day. Remember that? If you don't, Google it. YouTube it or something. But Rusev is that guy, and he ain't been doing much either. So Oba Femi versus Rusev at Mania, I'm okay with that too. I mean, I'd rather see Lesnar, but if Lesnar's with Gunther, put Oba and Rusev. Sign that on the dotted line. Then you got, another U.S. title open challenge. No real substance. It's just a match. I mean, I like Matt Cardona. I liked him when he was Zack Ryder. And Carmelo Hayes is that guy. So I'm okay with watching both of them tear their heads off. But the open challenge is just kind of just a thing that they do every week, and it gets boring. Like I need some storylines with Carmelo Hayes where he just some guy. He's just some guy there. And then the semi-main event, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley defending their tag team titles against Lash Legend and Nia Jax. And Lash Legend and Nia Jax won. Shocker. I kind of figured that when they did this title match right before Elimination Chamber and Rhea was in it and Io wasn't, Rhea's winning the chamber. Rhea's winning the chamber, but they got to take that tag titles. And what's the easy way of doing it? Lash Legend. So, duh. Thank you for making the Elimination Chamber real predictable. But let's talk Elimination Chamber. And I know a lot of people said the crowd sucked. They said that it was a boring 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever you want to call it. But it is what it is. Rhea Ripley went in the chamber in a paint by numbers type of chamber match. Mediocre at best. I mean, it was better than the men's, but not by much. And facing Jade at Mania, yay, hooray. I wanted Bianca to come back, but I guess she's still hurt. But I guess Rhea never faced Jade one-on-one, so sure. I mean, sure. Let's have a marquee Mania match. Does that mean Rhea's going to automatically win? Probably. I mean, if they give Jade the win, what's next for Rhea and what's next for Jade? Or maybe she'll beat Rhea and then Bianca comes back. But then if she comes back at Mania, why shouldn't you, why? Just to have her come back and whatever. And then AJ Lee beats Becky Lynch for the IC title, which means they're going to have a rematch at Mania. There's no way Becky is not going to be on WrestleMania and fighting for a championship. And AJ Lee is not going to lose the championship between now and Mania. So she's not going to, defend it against somebody else. That'd be stupid. Because that's the biggest match that they could have. Unless they throw some curveballs and have some other people all of a sudden now want the IC title. And then Randy freaking Orton wins the men's chamber, and he's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. As of right now, a singles match. But Drew, interfered or whatever and made it so that Cody didn't win. And Cody's pissed. Aldis is pissed. I never seen Aldis that mad. I thought he was going to rip his suit off and it's going to be Drew versus Aldis for the title, but he thought smarter than that and put Cody instead. So on Friday, Drew's going to have to defend that title. My thinking is 2 things could happen. Cody Rhodes is going to defeat him clean and become the champion and face Orton on a one-on-one match. Sure, I'm for that too. But I'm thinking it's going to be a flub finish because it's way too close to Mania for changing hands. So I see Jacob come interfering. I see, some flub finish, and Nick Aldis is just gonna lose his mind and come in and be like, you know what? Y'all want to just mess up everything I'm trying to do, trying to make main events, trying to make action and all this, and he's gonna have a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania for the WWE title. So you're gonna have Orton, McIntyre, Cody, and Jacob Fatu. That's my thinking what's going to happen on Friday. I don't see a clean winner. I don't see Drew beating Cody. I don't see Cody beating Drew. I feel that's what they're going to do. So that's what you got. And then the box. What was in the box? Now, I'm going to start this with something. What you expect? All these people are so whining, crying, and say, look, there's no reaction for Danhausen. Oh my God, a vampire with a cape. Why waste all my time on the cape guy? But what'd you expect? Did you expect it was going to be Chris Jericho? That's your fault. There's not one time, not one person that matters. Like WWE, Chris Jericho himself, nobody was like, guess what? It might be me. No, it was all fans. It was all me. It was all media and saying that it could be or what I'm hoping to be. That's your fault. That why you disappointed. Like, you think WWE's going to do something and have Chris Jericho in there and not hint towards it? Nah, they knew what they were doing with Danhausen. It's all about the money, all about the merch he can sell, all about the kids that are going to paint their face like Danhausen, all the kids that are going to be, Daddy, I want a cape just like Danhausen. It's not about you, man. It's not about the adults in the room. It's about the little kids in the room. Sometimes comedy is to make that extra money. TKO is already feeling like they're losing money, even though ticket prices are sky high. But they feel they need to get more money. So what's the easy way? Getting the kids to want it. When my kid wanted something like that, when he wanted the John Cena wristbands and hats and T-shirts, who was paying for that stuff? Me. I went out of my way to buy that stuff for my son because that's what parents do. And that's what Danhausen is going to get. He's going to, mark my words, you're going to look at WWE shopping. You're going to have masks. You're going to have capes. You're going to have T-shirts, all with Danhausen's crazy face on it, cursing you or whatever the crap he does. But he's a good dude, and I'm glad for him. And think about this: who's he friends with? CM Punk, or he, like he calls it, Pepsi Phil. And I'm sure he's really close with Cody Rhodes. Duh. Like, no brainer to me. He ain't gonna wrestle like that. He ain't gonna be on your TV having 5-star matches with Cody Rhodes or anybody on the roster. Like, he might have a match just as much as R-Truth does. He's gonna be a backstage guy. He's gonna curse people, throw teeth at people, and you're cursed. That's what he's gonna do. So why y'all tripping? Like, what'd you expect? And if you expected more than for him to be someone different, like a Chris Jericho, then you set yourself up for failure, and you need to stop. Just stop. We all adults. Just stop. Hey everyone, it's Bishop. I got something special for you today. On the next bonus episode, I'm breaking down the top 4 teams in college basketball, giving you my insider's take and predictions you won't hear anywhere else. Plus, I'll dive into Vince Russo and John Cena's AEW talk and why he's crazy. No fluff, just straight analysis. This episode is exclusive to my Patreon supporters. For just a few bucks a month, you got bonus episodes like this, exclusive merch, and even a chance to ask me questions directly on a live Q&A session. So if you want in, join the crew now. The link will be in the description, and I'd love to have you on board and make sure you never miss the inside scoop. So break that down. So we got this Elimination Chamber craziness out the way. Y'all need to calm down. Like, I get it. wrestling fans are the most passionate fans on the planet. I don't care what anyone say. They're way more passionate than Star Wars, Marvel, all wrapped into one. Wrestling fans, this is real life to a lot of us. And sometimes you just gotta step away, man, and look and be like, why are we tripping? I mean, I get it. It's your hard-earned money. I would have been very upset if I spent thousands of dollars to be at Elimination Chamber. But let's move on, because I could be on here for 3, 4, 5, 20 hours talking about the craziness that was Elimination Chamber from Chicago, which Chicago might need a timeout because they clearly was too tired. Like Roman said, I don't know who looked more tired, the fans or the champion. Moving on. Michigan Wolverines Big Ten Tourney preview. They sealed up the Big Ten regular season title. So they get a triple bye because, the Big Ten Tourney was like, you know what? Everyone gets a shot. Why? Even the worst team in Big Ten gets to be in the tournament. Whatever. So because Michigan is on the top echelon of teams, they won't have to play to the quarterfinals on March 13th. So they're just gonna be chilling. And they only gotta win 2 games to get to the championship. 3 games to win not only the regular season but the tournament Big Ten. That'd be baller. But before the tournament starts, Michigan has 2 regular season games left. One away in Iowa on Thursday, and their final home game versus Michigan State on Sunday. And then they wait until the 13th to play in the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis. So let's go to the elephant in the room. I don't know. But we're talking Detroit Lions. They just traded away Knuckles. David Montgomery. Rumor has it that he said that he didn't want to be there no more. But then he said I never said that. And then they asked coach and it sounded like he did say it, but he didn't say it. So did he say it? Like what's really going on? And then I wake up, take the sleep out of my eye, and boom, David Montgomery traded for a 5th round pick. Okay, let's get this straight. Our second best running back, you're going to trade him to the Houston Texans, who looking stacked now in the running back position. They're going to be dangerous. They were dangerous with what they had. Now you add David Montgomery to that equation. Not fair. So they get that, and they had to give up 5th round picks. Third day, like, I mean, if it's true that he didn't want to be there, I kind of understand, because you want to get something than nothing when he walks away when he's a free agent. But I've seen him play. I've seen what he contribute to the offense, and that's all you could get. That's all you can negotiate with the Texans to get. Like, they just said, "Oh, I'm hungry. You gonna give me a ham sandwich, bro?" Oh, okay. Like, that's what you basically did. Because there's no guarantees that 5th rounder is going to be anything close to what you just gave away. Like, a running back from the 5th round is not going to be David Montgomery because he's already been in the system. He's already been proven in the system. They call him Sonic and Knuckles for a reason. They were a duo, and change of pace. And one game, Gibbs run all over the place. Next game, Montgomery were all over the place. Game after that, both of them running crazy. Like, no one could prepare for just one of them because they don't know. And based on who has that day, they're gonna, and that's what the Lions have done forever since I was a small infant. The Lions take talented people and ship them away and are shocked when they look on TV and be like, oh, they are good. The Tigers used to do that all the time too. But they're trying to build back faith by having Verlander come back, which means that pitching staff is going to be stacked. Stacked, Scoble, Verlander. Come on, brother. I'm just saying that brother. But we'll get to that in a minute. But the Lions. I don't know. Like they used to not draft worth crap for years, and now they just get. I don't know. I wished I would know who to believe, because as of right now, he wanted out. The Lions gave him his out, but I guess they didn't want to fight for anything more than a third day pick, and didn't want to not get anything. Maybe they said, "Oh, give me a second round pick," and they was like, "Nope." Third round pick, nope. So maybe they tried, but I would try a little harder, because now you got Gibbs, and not. I love me some Gibbs. I love me some Sonic, but he can't be an every down back. He can't be a 30 to 40 carry type of dude at game. He's not Derrick Henry. He just his body's not built like that, and he's not going to be able to survive a season by taking that many carries. So he needs, like I said, a duo is what works in Detroit, and what will always work in Detroit, because when you focus on one guy, then 8 in the box type things, and plays and momentum and things that Gibbs will be able to not be able to do once they realize, oh, he's the only guy that we got to worry about. Montgomery's gone, because once they could stop Gibbs, Campbell will throw out Montgomery, and they'll be like, oh, damn. And then he'll do some cuts and wear down defense a little bit, throw Gibbs back in there, 40 yards here, 40 yards there, throw Montgomery in there, boom, 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 But clearly they didn't want to do more with that guy, or he didn't want to be, getting good, going through the season, having good records, having winning records, and winning divisions, and then going to the playoffs losing. Like he probably wanted to get more taste of victories, and I understand, but I don't know. I thought we were having that different type of momentum with them winning ways, and people aren't like, I don't want to be in Detroit, and it seems like it's going back to that, and I'm afraid for that. This might only be the tip of the iceberg. That's what they say. So I'm hoping something in the draft we can build upon this, and still keep the same momentum we have done in the last 2 seasons. Because I don't want to go back to 0-16 Lions. No, that was a stressful year, because it wasn't like we were blowing out every single game. And that's the hardest part, when we were this close from winning half those games and just couldn't do it. I don't want that Lions back. You can have that. Believe that. But baseball is coming back. Spring training is in full swing. That's why I got my Dodgers shirt on with the 2 best players, Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani. The greatest baseball player I've ever seen in my life. At me if you don't believe me. But I want to cover my 2 favorite teams going forward. You got the Dodgers and Detroit Tigers. Those are my teams. So I'm going to keep my eye on them, keep you knowledgeable in their day-to-days and weeks-to-weeks, and information and news, but obviously big news in the baseballs when they pop up. I'm gonna let y'all know what I think. And that's how we're going to do it from going forward, because baseball is back, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're about to get playoffs. We're about to get March Madness. It's getting there, and then sooner or later, a blink, football season's gonna be back, and we're gonna be back in that too. So this is the episode 19. So if you like what I do, give us a like. It helps the show greatly, way more than you think. Just a simple like will show that other people like this show, and they'll want to be able to give it a listen. So don't forget to subscribe to the show, share it to your peeps, your enemies, your frenemies, the guy down the street that bugs you all the time. Just throw him. Hey, Bishop's Breakdown. Listen to that and then walk away. So don't forget to do 3 things. Comment, comment, comment. I like to see the comments. I don't care, good, bad, indifferent. I just want to see them. So make sure you comment every time I post some stuff to let me know that you alive, that you there, breathing, a breath check, you know what I mean? So this is Bishop, and like I always do, deuces. Ooses.